Hi, welcome back to Miniocalypse. And today, we're going to go over a quick paint scheme for these little Chaos Warriors. So let's not waste any time. Come on, join me at the desk. Alright, so here are our Chaos Warriors. We did for our diorama in the previous video. Don't know if I announced it in the previous video, but we did win the competition with this. So, another huge shout out to my buddy Tiazo and as well Squidmar Miniatures for judging. It was a blast, so much fun. But today we're going to focus on these little guys and the really quick paint scheme that I came up with to get these guys painted in, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes a piece, something like that. So we're going to get right to it. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to start with our parts primed in black. This is Chaos Black, but any black will work. We've got them super glued onto some sprue bits. Now we're going to start by base coating the cloth in red. This is Mephiston red, but as well any red will work. After the base coat is dry, I like to leave it kind of spotchy. I think it adds to the look of the dirty, worn down cloth. Now we're going to go in on the fur. For that, we're just going to use a brown. This was Mournfang brown, but by all means, choose whatever brown you would like. Get yourself a nice base coat on there. After the base coat, we grabbed our dry brush, used a lighter brown. For this, I used Army Painter's Skeleton Bone. Just get those dry brushed, and they'll look like this. Then we dove in with a wash. We're using Seraphim Sepia by GW, but any brown wash will work, or whatever wash you choose. And the goal here is to get everything coated and get it nice and wet. We're going to be working a little bit quickly for this. Once we have the wash on and your piece is nice and wet, we came back in with some orange. Now while it's wet, we just do the classic edge highlight, and as you'll notice there, it will kind of bleed downwards. And I found this to be a pretty cool effect, and once it's dried it doesn't look as drastic as it does here. So feel free to give this a try. Alright, and it looks something like this. Now, onto the black armor. First we're going to single out all the areas, like these chains for example. We're getting those painted silver in advance. We're just going to pick out all the spots that we want to stand out from the black armor. We'll touch up the little skull here on his knee with a nice dark brown. This is Rhinox hide, but whatever your chosen bone or skull color you want to be will work fine. And why not have a nice golden belt buckle? Again, you can paint these accessories in any color you want. I just find it useful to get the color on them prior to the next step, which we'll get to soon. And voila, something like that. We got our individual accessories ready to go. Now back to the cloth. We're going to run over everything with a nice black wash. For this I used Nuln Oil from GW, but by all means, any darker wash will also work. This is just to add a bit of the grimy look to the cape. I wanted these guys to be rough and tough. They've been around for a minute. They're Chaos Warriors. Now back to the armor here. We switched to a Nuln Oil gloss, and I find this to be fairly effective for the black armor. We're just going to coat the entire mini in this Nuln Oil gloss and just let it do what it does. I did avoid the boots because, well, I did not want him to have shiny boots. But if you want shiny boots, shine them up. Here we have it. Everything's nice and dry and ready for the next steps. I chose to grab a wolf gray. You can use whatever grays or whites you want. I recommend using a wolf gray. For an additional step later, you could go with white after that. We just edge highlighted all of the edges basically with this wolf gray. And for me, it really just popped the armor out and in a way sold the effect that the armor was actually a black metal. You don't have to edge highlight everything. I chose to because I don't really know why. I just was enjoying it so much. It's how I wanted to do it. As you'll notice, we did go in and paint the boots with a, I want to say a leather brown, and I may have went over it with the snake bite contrast. Just a few more little details here I wanted to pop out, and that should about wrap this guy up. Alright, nice shiny black metal. And a nice dirty looking cloth. We'll pop these off the sprue here Sorry about the four-wheeler in the background. That's the neighbors. And here we have them. In my opinion, nice, quick, simple, ready to put on the table little Chaos Warrior. I'm using these guys to represent Khorne, so I went with the red cape, and I feel it was a very quick, effective way to get these guys painted in no time. Get your army ready, go hang out with your buddies virtually and play, because we all know nobody's going anywhere right now. Here's the accessories, done up in the same way. You can touch them up however. Put a little too much gloss on the shield there. Alrighty, hopefully you enjoyed that quick little paint scheme, and I really hope it helps you get something like this painted up in no time. I'd like to thank all of you for showing up, all my subscribers, viewers, and everyone who supports me everywhere, my Patreons, Instagram, all that. I really appreciate it. I love you all. I'd like to say a little bit about the merch right now. We have another campaign going. The campaign is only up for so many days. We'll have links to that in the description if you're interested in checking out some of that. And we're going to rep my Twitch here just a little bit. We'll be working on this little project here. Here's a little sneak peek of what we got going on. Something special for December. So if you'd like to know more about that, check me out on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Miniocalypse, I believe. The link will also be below. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get right back to more work. So, see you around.